You have stumbled upon or perhaps intentionally ended up here at my podcast, Actual Leigh. No matter the path that led you here, I hope that you will hang out and join me for a truly enjoyable conversation. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Actual Leigh, and I am here with Tyler, who is long overdue to be on the podcast.
And
And
over a year.
yeah, it's been a long time, so I'm very happy to see your face. Um, and Yeah, it's been kind of crazy for both of us since the last time we talked. I think we talked like around Halloween of 2023, so it's been almost 2 years.
Oh, yeah, it's been crazy. So, yeah, on your podcast, and
Yeah.
my last episode on mine that I recorded was right before April.
Yeah,
So
but I think we recorded it was before, like a little bit
I
before
think you're
that.
right. I
Yeah.
think you're right. Because I was like getting ready to like start my new job and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, work has been insane, which is why my podcast still isn't up yet, but I'm trying and all my equipment isn't working. So Lee's trying to help me with that.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out.
I got it set up because my laptop broke, and so I got a PC and or a like regular computer, and yeah, I have to switch everything over. So
Yeah, it's a lot doing the having to reset up and then like plus you're getting your workspace ready, which is also exciting. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's exciting because when it's done, you're like, woohoo, you
yes,
know.
thankfully this is my office, guys. It's
Office.
I'm putting up so pink like subway tiles on the walls, and then I
Nice.
have greenery for the middle of the wall there.
Okay.
Um, and then I have my fainting couch that I got for the room, and oh, can't see it super well.
So you
There it is.
can be a therapist. Yes. Tell,
Exactly.
tell me about your dreams.
Or you could be my therapist and I'll sit
Yeah,
in the
that works for me. I'm good at that.
So yeah, I've been slowly getting this room ready. I redid the floor, so that's all done, and then got my desk and my computer in here, and I well, Jordan painted the room. And then so I need to paint just the windows still, and then I don't know what I want to do with those, but they're just wood right now.
Yeah,
They're ugly.
like the door matches the door.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
So
got
I'm in the
you got
basement.
options.
Yeah. And I'm renting out the room next to this one to one of my employees next month. So hopefully she's quiet.
Yeah, hopefully. Or you can always put some noise stuff on her side to help absorb some of the noises that bounce around or something.
Get the ugly wall.
Yeah. I don't, well, that's what these are behind me. They're not ugly anymore. They don't have to be.
Not egg cartons.
Yeah. And these actually are supposedly they work better than the egg cartons do. So, yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look into that
And
because
they have
we've
lots
not.
of different colors so you can like do like shapes and it's
I
cool.
like it.
I'll
That's a
send you a
good,
link.
perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, life's been lifey.
Yeah.
It
Your
just
it seems like overall your POTS has been behaving better.
Yes, so this is the first summer in a long time that I've had one attack and it was pretty bad, but I was able to get it under control without IV fluids. It took 2 days, but I was able to get it under control with tons of electrolytes and water and compression socks and my feet up in the air and all of that.
Yeah.
Um, I've just been trying to stay super hydrated. It's been really humid and hot and gross. So I've been trying to do as much inside as I can. Um, my photo shoots I've been doing on the days that it's not as hot and I haven't been planning them as far out in advance for that reason. So I haven't had as many this summer, But as I watch the weather, I'll then post, hey, I have these days available because I know I'll be able to do it those days.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah,
been trying to be smart.
it's been cool to watch your photography stuff like expand where you're doing these shoots and working with people
It's
um
exciting.
and it seems like you're getting enough outreach that when you do kind of do a call out of, hey, I have these dates, it does reach people, which is cool.
Yeah. I've been getting like 2 to 5 during those outreaches, which is nice. It's not too much, and I have time to edit them. So I usually will do 2 days that one that I get off early, and then the next day that I have off, and then the following day I have off, so that I can edit them all on that third day. I don't like to wait till that third day, so I usually do it right after the shoots because I want to see them myself. But
Yeah. I that's one of my like with photography, one of my weaknesses was the editing because I don't really enjoy doing it. So I'm way more likely to get it done if I do it when the shoot is super fresh and I'm still kind of excited about it versus if I
Mhm.
come back to it, like that wedding that I went to and I took pictures. It wasn't officially a shoot, but I took pictures and I haven't looked at them yet. Um, and part of it's because I have so much going on, but it's also just like it's like it's like coming out of taking the pictures, taking a break, you're no longer in the gear for the photos, and then you have to force yourself back into the gear, even though your brain hasn't been there for a while. And it's like, it's just,
Totally.
it's a whole thing. So,
And
but
I've noticed for me, like while I'm taking the photos in my mind, I'm seeing how I want to edit them with how I'm shooting them. But if I wait to do them, then I'm like, wait, how do I want to edit these? And I have to
right.
rethink about all of that instead of in the moment, like, hey, this is how I want the colors and everything. I can see it when I'm photographing. And then I forget all of that if I wait too long to do them.
Yeah. It's like you lose that relationship with it. And yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's,
Some of
anyway, I got,
them, I like to go back to my shoots, like months later and re-cull through them and edit a few new ones and send them with new eyes and I'll edit them completely differently. A lot of
yeah.
photographers don't like to do that because they want like one style. I don't do that.
No, I was gonna ask if you did that because I'll do that too. Like even I have like old stuff that I went through back in the day, and I still want to go back through and do it again. Some of that stuff's so old though that the it's at full resolution for what the camera was at the time. It's like this big on the screen because it's so tiny. So I need to run them through a tool or something to add more resolution so I can actually work with them. I know
Hmm.
I know Adobe has something like that, and since I pay their stupid subscription fee,
Hmm.
I might as well use it.
I did hear.
There's just nothing else. Like I can't use GIMP to edit photos the way that I want to. I've been using Photoshop for so long. Like I started using Photoshop with Photoshop 3, right? So like my brain is just very wired for that software. But also like the video editing, I haven't found anything that's like free. Like everything is subscription now. Even like CapCut, because we were talking about that the other day, now the free version you get watermarks. You can't download without the
No.
watermarks anymore. So, and I'm like,
Interesting.
but
Since I
I
use.
just figured out that Adobe has a mobile app called like Rush or something for video editing,
Okay.
and it's really nice. So I'm gonna start doing and you can pull the sounds out just like you can in CapCut. So I'm gonna start using that to make like TikTok videos.
Okay, I like that. I'll have to look into that too, because I hate that I have to post things on TikTok for me to be able to have the video without the
Right?
watermarks. It was the
Because
other way around once before.
yeah, it used to be, and it's I kind of stopped making content because of a lot of things, but that was one of them. Is that I don't like I want to be able to pull that content out and have it scheduled all over the place, and soda delivery, and
Yeah.
and not be stuck posting one at a time based on the TikTok watermark thing. So I'm just gonna start pulling sounds off TikTok, make the video off of it, and then I'll have it. and I'll just make sure to reassociate with the sound because I have them all in my favorites, so I can just find the sound again and make sure that the original creator still gets that credit on TikTok. Um,
That's been super important to remember. I've been trying to find them on the old sounds, like because I repost videos sometimes, and then sometimes it'll associate them on its own,
mhm.
but other times, like I can't even
Doesn't.
find
Yeah,
any.
even the on this day posts, they don't always reconnect
Mhm.
back to the, and I'm like, well, that's a bummer because that's one of the things TikTok's always been really good about is that you can get to the source of a sound, you know? Um, but
But you
yeah,
can't
and
always, sadly.
yeah, and sometimes the original's gone or they've posted multiple of it or you can't figure out what the original is anymore. And
Mhm.
my value system is like it's really important to me to give people credit, but there's a certain point in which it is the internet.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
So I try to balance it, but I still go on the side of trying a little too hard, you know.
Yeah,
So it's
your mental energy's gone, and
yeah, I'm like,
do
oh
I even
man,
post this anymore?
man, posting stuff that's been I made all these clown memes, that I was very happy with because they make me go. And then I've been saving memes that I did not make, but I like to put somewhere else. And then I haven't been able to get myself to post them. Like I have gaming clips, and the act of creating the post, figuring out a caption, it's like so ADHD unfriendly, especially since I get almost no engagement on my stuff. So I don't even have anything to look forward to except not having to
Mhm.
think about it anymore. Like, you
Yeah,
know?
there's so many steps to it. It's not like you just go to one place to do it. You made it, then you had to like, yeah,
Yeah,
like you said, you had to think of everything like step by step. Where with ADHD, because I have that too, like by step three, you're like, I
yeah,
want something that's new now.
right. Exactly. And if I look at the end thing, I'll get overwhelmed. I have to focus on just the step, right? And go step by step like that. And I realize this recently, it's starting to like get in my head that the amount of content that I want to make and post is actually like a team. And actually a lot of the
Yeah.
people that I follow that have like a really successful like space, they don't do as much shit as I'm trying to
Mhm.
do. And I'm like, am I gonna have to give something up? Or maybe I just kind of switch around all the time and don't really like try to do it all at once, or I don't know, you know.
Yep, I was noticed. So, like, I was trying to do all the stuff for my photography page, and I like make posts, make ads, all of that. And I'm like, I don't have, first of all, I don't have the talent for all of those things together. And second, I don't have the time or the energy to be doing this and be taking the pictures and be editing them. And I just don't know like how to get to that point. So like I have somebody making my website for me. And thankfully for free. And
That's
I
helpful.
and I have like that person is now willing to help me with the advertising. And so I know it'll be on their timeline because it is free and they're just helping me. But without that, I would probably wouldn't even have a website right now. I'd just be still doing the
Right.
same thing I've been doing. So I've just been sending them all my favorite pictures and they've been making like categories and everything. Um, so that it's connecting to my Pixie set so that I can schedule through there. All of my contracts are through there so that I can get payment and everything through there.
Nice.
And they deal with all or the sales tax and all of that too. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible, but it's still a lot of work even with help.
Right. Yeah. It is. I like just doing the podcast and there's the editing of every single episode. And if it's not complicated, it's not too bad. I would say like every episode, if it's just a single episode versus me breaking it into multiple, takes me about 45 to 60 minutes to do the editing. And then, I have to export it and then upload it places and do all of that stuff. And then I make the clips, and that takes me, I think to get like 5 or 6 clips, it takes me like 2 hours or so. It's pretty time intensive. It's gotten a little faster, but like I would say like 20 minutes of that is my attention span. Like going, I don't want to do this. What's that? You know? But
Yeah.
yeah, so and it's like all that time put into just a single episode that goes out every single week, right? Um, and that's like, like if I was an able-bodied, not healthy person and didn't have all the shit going on, maybe that wouldn't feel like a lot, but it does feel like a lot, which is kind of why I've
Yeah.
just been like, this is what I'm doing, y'all. This is it.
It is a lot. Like I know when I get my podcast back up and running that I want to record for a couple of months beforehand for two reasons. One, to have backup and that it's coming out, but also so that I know what I can handle
Hmm.
getting like doing in those 2 months. So that way I can tell people what I can promise to come out every week
Right.
because I don't want to overextend myself because before I was putting out like 4 episodes a week and I can't do that working the job that I'm working right now and doing
Yeah.
photography.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. I just doing once a week. It was like when I first started doing the podcast, I was like, am I gonna do once a month or once, it ended up being once a week because I talk a
Mhm.
lot. But but yeah, I recorded like 4 sessions before I started posting again, and I haven't edited them all, but just having them was helpful. But my preference is to have like 5 to 10 episodes already pre-edited, and I'm not there. I'm like a little behind on that, but I would like to get that. I just because of everything else going on, I wasn't able to get the editing done. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, after the repairs on the house are done, um, then it'll be easier for me to do that
Yeah.
in theory. I don't know, something else will happen, I'm sure.
I'm sure it's always something. It's
Yeah.
frustrating. It's like as soon as you feel like everything is going well, that's so short-lived for the next thing to happen.
Right. I'm always like still in the middle of it, and I'm like, I think I can see the end,
Hmm.
and then something else happens. I don't even get through it before it's like, and it used to be that there was a gap, right? And in the last like 2 or 3 years, everything has started overlapping, and I'm like, why? Are you in a hurry to destroy me, universe? Like,
My my dog keeps walking by. It's like
or you
way
can
up here
see out
because
the
I'm in the
window.
basement.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mess, but yeah, so she's walking up there, so I keep seeing her little butt.
That's funny. Oh, is it like the windows kind of like down underground level?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you gonna put
So,
stuff in there?
I want to, but with the winters here, I don't know what I would put in there
Yeah,
because it
that makes
gets
sense.
completely covered in snow. So, like, especially, so we didn't have that bad of winters the last 2 years, but the year before that, we had 8 feet of snow, like banks along the roads and our yards, like everywhere. And so they had to do an emergency removal of our snow from the town to like take it somewhere else. So I might do like a cute little scenery or something in there, and then if it snows on it, it's fine.
Yeah, so I was thinking like maybe some like gnomes or something. Like I have a
Mhm.
gnome above my door that I've had that gnome since before my son was born, and he's like I don't know what he's made out of. He's pretty dense, and he's intended to be outside. It's more like a
Cool.
gargoyle than a gnome, really. But yeah, that's why I was thinking. Yeah, I would just kind of have some like cool stuff there, and then. But
Yeah, I
so
still need
how
to be able
do
to climb out of it in an emergency.
so the windows are they like reinforced or something in case you get a lot of snow? Because the snow's kind of heavy, right?
It is. So the windows, it goes down further than the window, the like egress. And then so that if there is some water or something, it's not going to come in the window. But it also has like just wood and it kind of absorbs the water like into But the ground absorbs the water too. So that way, like as it melts, it's just kind of going down into the ground. But
Yeah.
that's why a lot of basements flood here because the groundwater is so high after the snow melts. But I have three sump pumps in my basement. The only place it's flooded is in like my unfinished room, and it's only just right around where the sump pumps are. They just couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
Uh, so I've never had my basement flood, knock on wood, but I'm also on top of a hill. So my house is higher than all the other houses around it. So my house probably floods their houses, and I
Yeah.
feel kind
The house that I lived in when I was little, when we moved in with my grandpa, it was like these track homes where you could see the change in design from each house. They'd be like, "Oh, this thing didn't work." So our house was like the first one, and it was lower than everybody else's. And so
of.
come winter time, like the backyard and the garage always flooded. It was like this thing, and my grandpa had a Pomeranian, and that dog would go outside and swim in the backyard and take a shit like while swimming. And I was like, I don't, how do muscle, okay, and then come back in. It's just like, it's crazy. But you could literally, like, because there were, other people, like when I go to the neighbors to sell Girl Scout cookies and whatever, you get to see their houses and their yards. And it was literally like just slowly stepped up, like higher and higher, like, 4 inches, 6 inches kind of thing. It was funny.
Oh, yeah, I feel so bad. So there were like my friend's basement, it was probably like this deep of water in the whole basement. And I feel so bad. Like, I don't know what I would do if that happened.
Right.
I have my office in here, and then I probably should put my computer tower on top of something just in case that happens. But I have a bedroom, a living room, a kitchen, a bathroom down here in this room, and
Yeah.
because it's like a full apartment down here. So
Right.
I
So I'm
mean,
assuming you
from
got the sump pumps, and I'm assuming that the basement walls, like the exterior stuff was done around the exterior to help as well with like water intrusion.
yes. So the basement in this house was built in the 90s. So this house was actually where the garage is. They built this basement with full ceilings, like it's tall in here, and then moved the house on top of the basement. So thankfully it's newer than the house because my house was finished in 1910, started in 1900.
Yeah.
And so it's newer. Oh, it's a fly. Get out of here. Um, so the basement was built better than a lot of the older basements here. And I think that's why there hasn't been an issue really. And my house is further from the river than the other houses that are on that side of my yard, where my yard slopes down.
Yeah.
But I have an acre, and the other houses just have like little backyards. So
Yeah.
I'm
You
like the
do you
king.
do yeah, you're like the big dog of the block.
Yeah, my house, including my basement, my attic is 5,000 square feet.
Wow. That's nice
And there,
though.
yeah. So it's a lot of basement to to keep water out of, but it's doing a
Yeah.
good job, house.
Yeah. That's that's good. It's I as you imagine, because of all the stuff I've been working on lately, I have read copious amounts about houses that have basements and how to deal with water intrusion and like the things that they use to stop it and stuff like that. So there's some nightmares out there.
There are, and I've had to help with some of them. My ex-father-in-law lived like the street that my house is technically on isn't the street for my address, but the street that my house is technically on, he was living on that street. And his basement wasn't finished. Thank goodness. It was probably 2.5 feet deep in water.
Wow.
And they had to bring in like things to pump the water out. It was a nightmare. And
Yeah.
it we had to like bring in all these dehumidifiers after we got the water out and just keep testing it to see if it was mold, and it was horrible.
Yeah. It is.
And it was sewage.
Oh.
It was sewage water.
Oh no. It wasn't just
So
like
the
snow water, it
sewage
was
backed
like
up.
gross water.
No, it was sewage water, and it was in the winter time. The I think the sewer pipe going out froze, and then when it unfroze, like somehow it sucked sewage back up into the house,
Hmm.
and it was so gross. It was so
Oh, that sounds so bad. Like, I feel like I can never go in my house again. Ew.
yeah. Someone else owns it now, so hopefully it's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, some of those fixes are so expensive too. Like, yeah. I
Yeah.
like with the stuff I'm doing, like I'm gonna put the moisture barrier up, and ideally you would do stuff on the outside to kind of minimize like moisture exposure from the outside as well. But that's like outside my realm of control, right? And
Mhm.
the moisture intrusion is being caused by this sort of passive moisture that's in the ground. It doesn't look like it floods in there. So I
Mhm.
feel like it's pretty safe to just put up this barrier to stop the intrusion into and then it also kind of helps the cinder blocks not erode quite as quickly because when you get the efflorescence that builds up on it, that's actually the minerals in the concrete coming out, so it weakens over time. So that's not good.
No, not good. Yeah, my I don't know how much longer I'll have this house because it's a lot of house and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And the property taxes and the insurance just keeps going up every year. And so my mortgage payment, that was like 14 something when I bought the house. I'm now paying 2,400 a month.
Jeez.
It's not $1,000. Just that's not my mortgage. That's just insurance and property taxes going up.
Yeah, that's rude because then like what if you need to like refinance or tap into your equity or whatever?
Mhm.
Like your hands are tied because all this other shit.
Yep. And I've never had a claim. Like the insurance has gone up just because the area, like it's gone up everywhere, but just because like the area, weather, and then now they just changed rules, they're not laws,
Hmm.
that if your roof is over 10 years old, your insurance goes up and they can drop you, even if you have a 30-year roof like I do. Happy 10th
That's
birthday, roof.
Yeah, the
So,
roof I put on my house when I had a house was a 50-year roof.
mhm.
I would be pissed if they did that. I'd be like, "Are you kidding me? It's a freaking foam roof. This shit like holds up forever." Like.
I've had this house 8 years and it was 2 years old when I bought the house. And I was like, oh, good. It's a 30-year roof. It's 2 years old. I got plenty of time. Nope.
Yeah.
I got to replace
They
it even though there's nothing wrong with it.
right, they should just be like you need to do regular maintenance and show proof of it or something. That's still annoying, but at least would be reasonable
I would be
because
fine with that. Every 10 years, you have to have an inspector come out and look at it. Fine,
right,
whatever.
right. Yeah, that's just Ugh, I don't know. Yeah, like the insurance stuff in California is nuts. Sometimes I regret selling my house because my mortgage was like 1,400 for like a three-bedroom house in the Bay Area, right? Because I bought
Yeah.
at just the right time and I bought in an area that was cost less because nobody wanted to live there.
Mhm.
And like rent is just so much more than that. But that's why I bought when I did because the rent was like going up. But like I'm pretty sure with like insurance going up and stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to afford it anyways.
That's the problem. I'm like, I don't know. Like, if I didn't do photography too, I couldn't afford my house. And
Yeah.
I work a job that pays well for the area. And I work way more than 40 hours a week. I should be able to afford to survive. And rent
Right.
isn't that much less. Like, well, yeah, for 2,400, it's high for the area for rent, but not for a mortgage. And like renting an apartment here, you can still find an apartment for like 750 for a two bedroom. But the new apartments they just built are 1,400 for a two bedroom.
Yeah.
So, and the old ones, they have roaches, they have issues, like there's a lot of
Right.
problems with those. But you can still find somewhere that's affordable.
Yeah.
But just it's just ridiculous because like the actual mortgage amount I'm paying is 950 a month. The rest of that is all other stuff.
Yeah, that's nuts because you're not, it's, I don't know. The whole system is just, yeah. Yeah, we pay like, we're like in the most affordable area in the Bay Area, and we pay 20, basically 2,300 for the two bedroom. We don't have a shared wall, and that's like unheard of. So, but it's also super old and has lots of issues, and it doesn't have like a reasonable functioning heater, so
Yeah.
um yeah. And the last place we were at was about the same price, and it was an apartment with shared walls and just constant cockroaches, and that was like, I mean, basically like low income housing type situation. So it's just, it just goes up a lot if you want to go anywhere that's kind of modern, nice-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's just wild. And like if I sold my house, I'd be with the way the rates are, I'd probably be paying the same amount for a smaller house. So
Yeah, no
my
kidding.
rates are so good. Yeah, my rate, so I have a 3.625, which is you can't even find that right now
Right?
anywhere.
Yeah, that's
So
my mortgage was like that too. It was like three something, and I bought my house, it was like 180 when they bought it, and then when I went to sell, I bought it in 2012, and when I went to sell it in 2019, I sold it for like five something. And it was
okay.
just like, because that city hadn't gentrified when I moved in there, but that year when I sold my house was the year that people started going, "Oh, there's nowhere, we can't live in Oakland anymore. We can't afford it." And so they started moving into Richmond, and um
Yeah.
yeah, and now it's super expensive there too. So,
I mean, my town's growing like crazy for the first year. So since I moved here, it pretty much stayed the same. And then this year is when it kind of started expanding. And part of that was my work coming into town, because you're not considered a town here until you have one of those.
yeah.
But we're getting a third one, which means we're really making it.
Oh,
Our
woohoo.
We have 13,000 people here, and a big chunk of those are the college. So the people who actually live here year round is less than that, but 13,000 surrounded by cornfields and soybeans.
Yeah.
Uh, but slowly we're getting rid of cornfields, which is a little sad, and building more housing. And so you can see it growing. So I'm curious the next census, how many people we have here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like the city that I grew up in was pretty small when when I was a kid, and it just like exploded at some point. Like I think the end of my teens, it just changed so much. It was like all of a sudden there's like multiple malls, and all of the like fruit words, the word for the when you have a big field full of fruit trees, there's a word.
Oh, orchard.
Thank you. All those were gone, and all that area that has been like built out that wasn't built out when I was a kid, those are the areas that burned down when we had the fires the last couple of years.
Mhm.
So, which is interesting. But yeah, so it's been interesting watching that, but it's also gotten very like posh because the wine country, which was in Napa, kind of spread to Sonoma. Sonoma was more known for like its dairy cows, and so now it's all very like cheese and wine and drunk drivers and yeah, that's like
That's so, it's crazy here. So speaking of drunk drivers, Um, people talk here like having a DUI was like a rite of passage. Like they're like, "Oh, when did you get your DUI?"
pardon
Like they
me.
just assume you have one.
I
And
feel
I'm
like I
like,
can't
"I
sit at a
don't."
table with you anymore. Like
As they're driving you. Like,
yeah.
but
Ugh.
like seeing people drive home because like I'll go, the only thing we have here is bars. And the only restaurants that like make food I can eat, one of them is a brewery, and they, oh my gosh, stop it. And they, yeah, the people there, I'm like, how are you driving home? Like, why are you driving home?
Right.
If you live in town, the town is a mile long. Like, walk. Like,
Right. That's just, call somebody to give you a ride or I can't,
yeah.
that's not, I have, that's like a zero tolerance thing. I can't, like if I'm hanging out with somebody and they're drinking, they're going to drive home. I'm like, give me your keys. You're not doing that. It's not happening. And I've gotten in some tussles because of it because they're like, I'm fine. And I'm like, you're not, give me your keys, punch in stomach, get keys. And I used to
Yeah, like
just, I don't drink, so I'm like, I can just
yeah.
drive you. It's not a big deal.
Like I've been like places where I've had a drink for dinner and I even after one didn't feel comfortable driving and walked home. Like I was way under the like I was under the limit, that's for sure, but I don't feel comfortable because I feel like my mind has been altered and I don't want to drive. I'll get a ride or I will walk. And I've walked in my
Yeah.
heels and regretted wearing them.
And I wonder how much of that comes into like being self-aware enough to feel the fact that you are altered because a lot of times people drink and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't feel anything." And I'm like, scientifically that's not really possible, but like it's like do they not they just aren't aware of it. And I never used to really appreciate the fact that people can just be unaware of the fact that they're feeling things until I lived with somebody who just doesn't notice. Like he'll have a cold and I'm like, "Hey, I think you have a cold." And he's like, "What?" Like
I
he's
feel
like
it days
sniffling and
before.
coughing and so it's made me be like, oh, maybe some people, it's not even a denial thing. They literally just aren't checked in with themselves enough to feel the difference.
Yeah. I haven't thought about that because maybe they really don't think that they
Yeah.
because in
Like
my
it's
mind
not,
I thought they're just lying to them, like lying to
yeah.
me and they
They're
know
just being
it, but maybe
stubborn
they
or
really don't.
prideful or yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's plenty of that too, but there probably are people who just legit are like, I feel normal and I'm like, but that's not how it works. You get
Yeah,
like
I
your videos like lagging every now and again, or maybe somebody on your network's up to something. But it's funny because it'll stop, like it looks like I took a picture of you and you're like
mean.
yeah,
Maybe somebody's playing a game upstairs.
could be, yeah.
Um, what was I? I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, so I've been drinking. So I don't really like to partake in the marijuanas, but I've been drinking these like THC drinks at night to help me sleep on days that I know don't have to wake up super early.
Hmm.
And but as soon as they start hitting me, like I hate how I feel. Like hate it.
You try to fall asleep before they kick in.
Yes. But
Yeah.
I notice the nights I do, like I am able to sleep better. And so, and it's a small milligram. Like I drink like 2.5 to 5 milligrams, but I don't know how other people like I do they feel different than I do? Like I don't understand how they like it.
Yeah, I don't when I was younger, like young, I went through a phase where I liked um being altered by cannabis, but the weed now it feels different. The lab shit, it's so strong. It does not feel the same at all. It doesn't feel
Mhm.
controlled. It doesn't feel like complimentary. It's like even with the really low doses, like I tried like there's this one brand that they do like 1 to 25 THC CBD kind of thing. And I was trying to do
Mhm.
stuff like that to help me because I was having a lot of issues sleeping when the chronic fatigue first started. And it would kind of help with it, but I just like I hated the way it felt. And I always avoided sativa like my entire life because the sativa I'm really sensitive to it and it causes like these like sort of zapping sensations in my nerves. So I always try to stay like on the indica or whatever, but I don't like it just got to this point where my body's like, this is not something that we like. And it was like it would help me sleep, but then I would wake up feeling depressed and
Mm.
and it would take a few days to kind of clear it out of my system, which is what happens if I have alcohol. I have like weird symptoms and then I'm depressed for a couple of days. So yeah, I just kind of gave up on it. If I could get the Charlotte's Web strain here, that's the only one that I found particularly like helpful with my pain or nausea or anything, that was tolerable as well.
Is that one in
But
Colorado that they grow it?
yeah, and I don't even, I mean, the strains change all the time. I don't know how accessible it even is anymore, or if it's like super expensive or whatever. I was able to get it here briefly, and then they replaced it with something that was more sativa dominant in the mix, and I couldn't tolerate it.
Mm. Yeah, I'm super sensitive to, especially when I was smoking it. I just couldn't like I was super picky about which ones because I feel so gross. And I don't it's not just cannabis. It's like medications and like my
Hmm.
body's just very reactive to things. Like I can't take pain medication except for Dilaudid. I don't know.
I
It's
don't
the
think I've
only
had that
one.
one.
And see, I've only had it in IV, but like it's the only one that didn't make me feel like disgusting. Like I definitely felt it and I slept, but it was the only one that didn't make me feel the same. And I can't even describe how they make me feel. It's like my brain isn't in my body. Like I just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Um,
like being altered. It's I grew up around people that love being altered, and I'm like that. Like to me, happiness is being myself rooted in my body. Like,
mhm.
it's not, I don't, I don't know. There's like other ways for me to escape, I guess, and I don't need to break my body to do that. But yeah, pain meds are weird. They don't really do a lot for me. So like after surgeries and stuff, they kind of help me sleep a little bit, but they don't really turn the pain down. And then they would give me fentanyl when I was getting the ablations done. And they were like, well, you shouldn't feel anything because they give me lidocaine and fentanyl. And I would feel it. I'd be like, totally feel them burning the nerves and stuff. And they're like, and I'm like, EDS, autism, you know.
Yeah.
But there was one pain medic. I had a surgery where I was in a lot of pain, and they kept giving me different stuff to try, instead of looking to see why I was in pain. And after 2 weeks of being in pain, I ended up bleeding and having to go to the hospital and almost need a blood transfusion. So I was hurting because something was wrong. But
Yeah. There's
they
a
gave
reason we have
me
pain.
they gave me a pain medication. I want to say tramadol. Is that a pain
That was
medication?
the only one that worked for me for cramps. Um,
It
but
it it
didn't fully
impacts your
work.
serotonin levels. And so I took it and I started having started feeling that serotonin syndrome type thing. I
Mhm.
can't do anything that impacts serotonin levels at all. I don't know why, but like it wasn't like this when I was younger. I used to take 5-HTP and stuff as a supplement, and I can't do any of that. I start having serotonin syndrome right away. So yeah, I took
Yeah,
that and that was awful. I was just like I spent like 48 hours
yeah.
just being like, this is not good.
The
And I
last time
only
I
took
had
one
that
pill.
though, I think I was like 20, so it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And things change. But
Dang it, stupid bodies.
yeah. I'm like
Ugh.
I'm okay with that stuff not working for me,
Mhm.
because they're kind of I don't know. Like I've known people that like use them too much and it makes their pain worse over time and stuff like that. And they get stuck
Oh,
in these
definitely.
cycles and it's just yeah.
It's just hard knowing so like for my surgeries, I couldn't take anything. So I just took Tylenol, and I couldn't even take ibuprofen after my last surgery because my I had hemorrhagic gastritis. So I could only take Tylenol, and I have to be super careful with ibuprofen and naproxen. So I have to, yeah, so that's all I could take after surgery. And everyone's acting like I was fine after. I was like, oh, did you have Vicodin? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
right?
I was
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I just suffered through the pain.
yeah. Thankfully, I was able to take Motrin after my last two surgeries, which honestly helped more than anything else anyway. Because that, like, after the gallbladder surgery, when I stopped taking the Motrin, because I have like, if I take it for some reason, the stuff they prescribe, I tolerate a lot better than the over-the-counter stuff. I don't know why. It's really high dose, so but as soon as I stopped taking it within 24 hours and the inflammation kicked in, that was when my body went crazy. I started having all these crazy spasms and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, But I didn't really feel like I needed um, the other pain meds. And it may just be because they've never worked on me. I have no sense of needing them, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, people think I'm crazy for not, even the doctors, they try to every time they try to push them on me when I have surgery, and I have to tell them every time they don't work. Like there's no point in
Yeah.
giving them to me. They don't
They'll all
work.
just prescribe them just in case and you don't have to take them. And
They've done that too.
I'm like, okay, but then at the same time, you give me my ADHD meds and you make me pee in a bottle or in a cup and there's all the stigma and you're gonna like shame me, but then you're gonna be like, here's some pain meds. Like, make up your fucking mind. Am I supposed to use medications to help me or not?
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so true. So I've been on a wait list for a little over a year now to get back into a neuropsychiatrist, which I have to drive all the way to Rochester for, which is 4 hours away for me to get back on my ADHD medication.
Why? Why so
Because
complicated?
apparently, here in this state, you have to go to a neuropsychiatrist as an adult. And even if you were diagnosed as a child, you have to get re-diagnosed as an adult.
Hmm.
If you stop taking the meds and get back
Yeah.
on. So I stopped when I got this job because I didn't need them because I'm go, 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 go all the time. And I'm like, this is my superpower. But
Right.
every 3 months, we change our section that we have to do. And when my section is a lot of computer work, I need them.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't need them every day, but I need them the days that I have to sit down and focus.
Right. Yeah, I have days that I skip them. Since I'm on my first month back on it, but yeah, there's just days where I'm like, I'm not going to be doing anything that I really need them, so I won't take them today. Um, Partially because if I do lose access again, I'm hoping that means I won't have withdrawals because that
Yeah.
sucked. Just after like almost a year on them, just going cold turkey. I just sat in the bathtub for 3 days and cried because I felt like I literally felt like the biggest piece of shit human ever. I was like, I hated myself so much. And I knew that it was the drugs, just the withdrawal and not having the dopamine. And it was like the first time in my life I had been getting the dopamine I needed in situations where normally I wouldn't get it. And it was like all of a sudden it was just gone. I was like, I'm starving. Like so
I
I'm
never,
on a low dose, so
yeah,
I'm still like I can tell I will benefit more when I bump it, but
I never took mine every day because I was so scared of getting addicted to it because I know that family members of mine have very addictive personalities, but I've never felt the need for anything.
right,
So I
right.
think that I'm more like my dad, but it still scares me. So that's why I don't gamble. Like I don't like even if I'm like drinking, like would have wine at night. Um,
It's
I
like if
would
you see
make
the
sure
pattern, you break the pattern so that you don't.
exactly.
I do the same thing because so my biological father and my mom, neither of them seem to have addiction issues. My mom smoked, but like nicotine is addictive in a way that's like beyond just right. Um, but like they did drugs, speed and coke and all that shit when they were younger and then they stopped. It wasn't like a thing, but everyone else right, didn't. They, there were lots of meth addicts in my childhood and stuff like that. And, my parents were very open with me, or my mom and her boyfriend were very open with me about like drugs and how they impact your body. Went to the library, read a book on, LSD and all this other stuff. So I had all this information. And when I broke my leg when I was 12, we were like hit head on. We were on a motorcycle and hit head on by a car on Highway 1. And so my leg was pretty messed up. And I was taking codeine for it, which worked at the time, maybe because I was a little
Hmm.
person and they were giving me an adult dose. But I still have the journal that I was writing because I always wrote in journals. I kept a schedule of when I took my pills, and I would extend how long between my pills. And if I could go
Hmm.
longer and my pain was okay, then I would do that. And so you can see, like, I tapered myself off of the pills, like, because I, at 12 years old, was so worried about being addicted. Even though I've never had an inclination towards, and even when I first started drinking coffee in my late 30s, I would like stop it sometimes because I was like, well, I don't want to be like locked to this. Um, yeah, and I don't like, I still have all the pain meds they gave me. I've never been like, oh, I'm going to take that. And I have ADHD meds that a friend of mine gave me during the shortage, and I never took them. And I was like, if I had a problem, I would have taken them, right? So it's, and it's weird that I have to have this conversation with myself.
It's true though. Like I do the same thing.
Yeah,
Like I've never met somebody else who
me
gets
either. I was like, oh, this it's like a weird kind of trauma that we absorbed from our environment. And
that.
then like because there's all the stigma, it's like, but it's never applied to me. And I know that it doesn't apply to me. And yet I feel like I always have to have that conversation with myself to prove to myself it doesn't apply to me.
Mhm.
I don't know, it's weird. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And like I will be adamant, like I'll stop, like if I'm out with other people who are drinking, for instance, and I'll stop drinking and go to water. And like I've had no problem ever being like, no, I'm only drinking water. I'm not having another drink. Like,
right,
and if I did have a problem, I wouldn't be able to do it.
right,
But like still in my head, I'm like, nope, I like have to do this. Like this is
right.
for me.
Exactly. Yeah, and I've always been very like particular about people being close to me in my life that they not have like active addictions like that. It's like one
Mhm.
thing if they've had addictions and they've done the work and they have a pretty good relationship with themselves in that regard, but because I get really agitated by those patterns. And I don't
Mhm.
like being around people who are under the influence on a regular basis, like drunk people, their body language really stresses me out. Even as a kid,
Mhm.
like my parents were pretty young, so their friends, they would have these big parties for like New Year's or whatever, and I would go hide underneath the bed. Like because it was like all of the adults who I normally liked were moving their arms weird and they were really loud and it was like they were not acting like themselves and I was like this is some bullshit. Like, I'm gonna go hide.
I no, I get that. And like like they lack personal space boundaries too and don't respect other people's. And that's what I don't like. It's like, why are you
Yeah,
touching me now?
right, yeah, and the spittle and the smells. So I don't even
Mhm.
like going to bars or restaurants that have bars if they don't clean it well because I can't stand the smell, like that old alcohol. Like if I go in
Mhm.
somewhere and they've got a bar and you don't smell that, I'm like, this place is legit. Like it's rare.
Yeah, there's I like the outdoor ones that have because I like to go to live music and because they you don't have that smell usually,
Yeah. Yeah, usually. Yeah.
especially since the ones here are closed except for like 3 months out of the year. So when it's warm
Because
enough.
of the weather. God,
Yeah,
it would suck to be a motorcyclist there. Like you wouldn't be able unless you had like a bike with snow tires or whatever, you really wouldn't be able to ride your motorcycle very much at all.
nope. That's why a lot of the motorcycles here have like no miles on them.
Yeah.
You can ride them for like maybe 4 months out of the year and comfortably. And then there's the really like the hardcore ones that don't want to give them up and they're like, I'm not gonna stop until the first like big snowfall.
Right. Yeah.
But
When I
yeah,
got
there's a
my first motorcycle, I put 30,000 miles in 10 months on it. It was just like, this was great. And it's like on it all the time. You can do that. It's like California is like one of the only places you could really do that in the US, like
Mhm.
easily.
The thing I hate here is you don't have to wear a helmet,
Oh
and
yeah,
that
that's
terrifies me. You have to wear glasses, eye protection, but you don't have to wear a helmet. And I'm like,
yeah.
even if you don't have to, you should. Like, why?
You're right. Yeah. Did they have like an insurance requirement if you don't wear a helmet? Because in Florida they have you don't have to wear a helmet, but you have to have a certain amount of like life insurance or something. There's like
I don't
a
know. That's a good question.
yeah.
Uh,
There's what they had in California when they passed the helmet law before when they were having all the arguments in Sacramento. My parents were anti-helmet law and we would go to these runs that would go out to Sacramento and like listen to the speeches. And one of the arguments during this was that if somebody crashes and hits their head hard enough with a helmet on, they may just end up being a vegetable, right? And so it's just better to let
mhm.
people die or whatever. And it was an interesting argument, but helmets have gotten a lot better since then too,
Yeah.
so more effective. But yeah.
Yeah. And there's my dog again. And there's, I mean, there's so many accidents that, like, yes, you could die, or you could become a vegetable, but if you had your helmet on, you might not be a vegetable and you might not die.
Right. Yeah, like when I low-sided my motorcycle in like 2003, I if I hadn't been wearing a helmet, I would have died. There's no way because I landed face first.
Yeah.
And I had a pretty bad concussion. Like I don't remember the next year very well. And I was really like I journaled all the time, so I had like I went back and read my journal entries and I was like really kind of erratic in a way that I normally am not. And I was like, hmm, but I never went to the doctor, so that was before I
Good
figured
though.
out going to the doctor. I hadn't never had health insurance, and when I did go, they didn't take me seriously, so I just didn't go to the doctor for things, right? Because
Now we go to the doctor and they still don't take us seriously.
right, and I'm like, this is why. They're like, why did it take you 20 years to mention the fact that this happens to you? And I'm like, because when I mentioned it 20 years ago, they didn't take me seriously.
Made me feel silly for thinking anything's wrong with me.
Right. Yeah, like all my arm pain, they were like, "Oh, it's in your head." Right? Like and now they're like, "Oh, it's coming from your neck." Or you have an
Oh.
autoimmune thing. It's probably a mixture of both. And I'm like, it took how like I've had a disability rating since 2005 because of my arms. Like and
Mhm.
the reasoning was basically like idiopathic in my head, you know? So I just didn't do anything for it except I did stuff at home. I had like I started using voice recognition software like Dragon Naturally Speaking because we didn't have our convenient phones that did that for us. And
Mhm.
I had other things that I did for myself. I slept in wrist braces and, but yeah,
I'm supposed to
is
do that. Supposed
I
to.
used to have to, but I don't, it doesn't, I don't, they don't help me anymore. So I don't think that that is part of the issue anymore, which is
Yeah.
nice.
So for
But
me, I know it helps the wrist pain, but I can't sleep. So I'm like, which do I want? Like to be able to sleep or my wrists hurt?
right.
Like,
Yeah.
so I just try, like, I'll wake up and my arms are like this under me, and I'm like, oh shoot, oh shoot.
Yeah. I sleep with well, I used to sleep with a pillow, but now I sleep with a squishmallow and I always keep it
Mhm.
between my arms and then that way I'm less likely
Mhm.
to fold because I get like ulnar nerve stuff and I mess up my shoulders and that helps me
Mhm.
keep in a better position. So I don't, because I was like my ulnar nerves were like trashed for a couple of years and like I like you can see my finger just does this trigger finger thing and it goes numb all the time and since I started doing that, it's been a lot better. I can't sleep with the brace on the elbow, not an option. Like it keeps the elbow so straight, it wakes me up in the middle of the night and it hurts so much because my arm wasn't bent. And I'm just like, oh.
I can imagine
So,
that because like when my arm was in a cast, even like moving it after it was like,
yeah.
I, that sounds painful. At least
Oh,
with your
yeah.
wrist, they kind of can move in there
A little bit, yeah.
a little bit.
I got to the
So
point, I guess, with the braces that I got used to sleeping with them, but I don't miss them, and I hate the fact that they start smelling after like 3 days, and you can wash them, and they just start smelling even sooner every single time. It doesn't matter what you treat them with, it just, you know, and
yeah,
I hate that smell. Sometimes my watch smells like that,
I
and I
can
get offended. I'm
smell
like,
things.
why do you smell like ball sack? Like,
It's true. It is ball sack smell.
yeah, it is. I do it with my son. I was like, my watch smells like ball sack. And he's like, it does. But also, how does he know it is ball sack?
Oh my gosh. So I was talking to my co-managers and I was like, did you ever realize that avocado smells like clean penis? And they were like, they're like thinking about it and they're like, wait a minute. Like,
I'm getting some
I don't know.
avocado later today. I'm gonna have to check that out. But you know, there's a soup, this Thai soup, tom kha gai, and it's like a coconut base with chicken and
That's
stuff.
my favorite food.
Me too. After I haven't, it used to be you could find places that didn't put onions in it, but now I have, it's like they all changed the recipe. But when the bowl is empty, if you smell the bowl, it smells like sex, like after sex smell, if there's
I'm gonna have
semen
to smell my
involved.
bowls.
Thank you for listening. Join me next week for the continuation of this conversation. Want to support my creative chaos and get access to exclusive content? Check out my Patreon. Have a great week.